This is how I determine what food is having an impact, is blocking my nostrils and making them more dry. Uh, I'm just hesitating. I'm not sure to describe my condition quickly because I have other videos when I describe. So what happens is that not eating specific foods and also not also going to sleep without eating for at least 6 to 7 hours in the evening. This is what helps me at night having the nostrils less dry, almost a bit humid, and also not blocked. This is just something specific for my ENS condition. My nostrils will get almost completely blocked at night time. No longer. So now, after this, with this diet, when I'm doing this diet thing that I will describe in a moment, my nostrils are no longer blocked at night like before, and this helped me enormously with my sleep. I also have a video where I explain that I also keep my mouth open on the side like this against the pillow. I sleep on the side, but you find that information in another video. So let's see how I determine which food to eat and which not to eat. Again, there is also an explanation for this. I don't want to get into this detail. Please look into my other videos. I have a video where I explain the link between food and nostril condition in persons, only in persons who had turbinate reduction surgery, who developed empty nose syndrome. Only in these persons, the food will affect the condition of the nostrils, right? So the way I determine this, and by the way, the diet again has two important parts. I do both of them. I cannot skip one of them. The one is going to bed without eating for at least 6, 7 hours, and the other one is not eating specific foods. For the list of specific foods, I'm going to put it in a comment section. I'm not going to give you all the foods that I no longer eat, and also um, maybe let me just give you the foods that I eat. Um, yeah, I better not go into detail. I just find my other videos where I explain this. Basically, I eat dry bread, pasta, and some sort of vegetarian ground meat. That also I would eat salad and some fruits, some specific fruits such as raspberries, tomato a little bit. Tomato it's a fruit, by the way. Um, Although many think this is a vegetable. Tomato, I can eat apricots, apples, and that's pretty much it, right? So this is my food, and also I need to drink a lot of water through the day. You see this in my other videos. So the way I determine which food not to eat is ideally what I think is best to do is to try during one day eat one of the foods that I'm going to tell you that are good and that will improve the nostril condition for the same day. So my suggestion is try one day to eat only pasta, um, and perhaps only bread, but it has to be dry. One of the worst foods for the nostrils is soft bread, because for soft bread, the digestion, um, I'm getting into details which I explain, and I don't want to say it too quickly because people don't believe when I say this. But digestion, what does when you digest food, there is blood that goes away from the rest of your body towards your intestines. So the rest of your body, the extremities, the head, the hands, and so on, get less blood. They still have blood, but just get less blood when you have digestion. And that's also why some people get tired or asleep after a big meal, because there is less blood in the brain, that blood, it's redirected by the body. It's a process called vasoconstriction. It's a biological process. If you want, read online. That blood will go towards the intestines because the intestines need, and the stomach area needs more blood to take the nutrients uh, and to bring the nutrients to the rest of the body. That's why digestion means there is more blood directed towards the intestine, stomach area, less blood in the rest of the body. And what happens when there is less blood inside the nostrils, where the mucosa has been damaged by the surgery, is the mucosa that gets dry, and in my condition also gets blocked. And this happens especially at nighttime for me. But also my mucosa is dry during the day. All this to say that my suggestion to start this diet is start a day eating only pasta. Just cook your pasta. And my suggestion for the pasta is um, just try to eat Italian pasta. I'm not sure what the names are. Cannoli perhaps, or rigatoni kind of pasta is like small tubes. I don't recommend spaghetti. I don't recommend spaghetti. I don't think it has a good effect for you. So try with those small tubes. There are several types of them. Cook them. You need to cook them soft, right? Bake them, and just try eating for a day pasta. Eat in the morning as well at breakfast. Yes, at breakfast pasta. You will see it's possible. Maybe put a little bit of oil on it. Maybe I do use oregano as spice. Pepper is not good for your nostril. And maybe put a little bit of tomato sauce, or also very, very lean ground meat if you eat meat. So grease or fat, it's bad. It will have a bad impact of your nostrils. That's why you need to have a meat maybe that it's not fat at all. Very little oil. Oil too much also is bad. It takes more digestion. So eat pasta in the morning, and then eat pasta maybe try to eat it at noon, in the middle of the day, and maybe try to eat 1/3 last meal at 4 o'clock in the afternoon, 4 o'clock, 4 p.m. And then try not to eat at all and go to sleep like this and see how it goes. See if you have an improvement. Usually you should have an improvement if the diet is correct for the day. You should have an improvement for the next night. This is for the people who have blockage inside their nostrils at night. Also, this should have an improvement for your nostril dryness through the day. So the nostrils may become less dry for the same day. Again, I want to point out that this diet, I do it, and I call this a diet for type 2 empty nose syndrome because my condition, ENS, causes the nostrils to get dry but also blocked at nighttime. I cannot sleep properly because of this. Okay, so this diet thing in the persons who don't have blockage but have dry nostrils and maybe they feel they are suffocating, this diet may improve the dryness of the nostrils, may reduce the dryness of the nostrils, may get your nostrils more wet, and that already it's a good thing. But this diet will not help you feel, will not reduce the feeling of breathing too much air. This diet does not have any kind of impact on the feeling that you are suffocating because you feel you breathe too much air. For that feeling, what I did is I have a video where I show how to put a small plastic cone inside your nostrils. So those cones cost a few dollars. Actually, those are anti-snoring devices, I think they call it. You get them from China, from eBay, AliExpress, and just I have a video explaining all this. Just find the correct size, insert it into your nostrils, and this should reduce the airflow inside the nostrils so you don't feel you breathe too much air in and you suffocate. So that's perhaps the relief for your condition if you have that condition. But this diet will help only for to improve dry nostrils and also to reduce the blockage of nostrils at dry time or even at daytime if you have this problem. So start this diet with, again, try with pasta. Also try with toasted bread. But what I mean by toasted bread, I mean that a bread that is no longer soft. I don't mean burnt bread, black toasted. Just dry, so it's no longer soft even inside. Slightly thin, or maybe get naan bread. Although naan bread, the problem is it has a lot of oil and also a lot of salt, so that's not good for your nostrils. So eat bread like this, and because be careful with this diet will absolutely cause constipation right away. Why? Because pasta and toasted bread is very dry food. It takes less digestion, it improves the nostrils, but at the same time, dry food will cause constipation. Dry food, for the food to travel inside your intestines, the food has to be inside your intestine, right? When it travels, the food has to be very wet to travel. If it's dry, it won't travel, so you get constipation. You may even can get pain in your stomach, in your colon, if the food is stuck in there for too long. So to prevent constipation, you need to drink water. So drink at least 1 or 2 liters of water, especially drink water when you eat that food to get the food more moist. But also it's really important either to take or to drink or to eat fiber supplements. In Canada and United States, we have them in the drugstores. Metamucil, I think this is the biggest brand, but there are other brands. So you need to start drinking fiber supplements. Basically, these are fibers that you dissolve in a glass of water, you stir, you wait a few seconds, and you drink it right away. Don't let it sit too long because it gets gummy if you want. So just read the instructions how to drink this, and you need to drink this fiber after each meal, right after the meal, each meal. So a small amount, like I would say perhaps at least a teaspoon of fiber in a glass of water, dissolve it, drink it after each meal. I repeat, not just once a day. It's not enough. After each meal, the fiber will go after the food. It will mix with the food in your stomach. So the food will travel through the intestine with this fiber, and that's how you don't have constipation. Also, I recommend, especially I guess summertime, eat salad. Just buy fresh salad, regular salad, cut the loaf, just cut a loaf, I wash it, and just eat the loaf like this. I don't mix it with anything, don't cut it in small pieces, just eat it like a rabbit if you want. I actually enjoy this thing. At first I didn't like salad, but now I eat a loaf, a big loaf, just like that. It's fast to eat. Eat salad during the meal as well, each meal. So mix the salad with your meal each time. So try a day like this with pasta and dry bread and maybe some fruits. Maybe banana is not good because it does cause constipation, but also it depends. Some people will develop kidney problems, and banana it's bad for kidneys. I repeat, it's bad for kidneys. It's up to you to believe me or not. I did experiment this myself. The banana has too much potassium, and potassium is hard on the kidneys, and persons with empty nose syndrome will have body dehydration problems. I explained this in another video, so you need to keep drinking water throughout the days at least 2 liters of water, not too much water. Don't go too much water because too much water is bad for your body too, but at least 1 2 liters, 1 2 quarts. And because of body dehydration, after many years of empty nose syndrome, you may develop kidney problems. You may not be aware of it. And foods high in potassium are bad for the kidneys. I repeat, if you read on internet, unfortunately, internet, a lot of people just are not really, they, many people on internet don't really know what they are saying. There are many people, teenagers maybe, who say things on internet, on forums or Reddit or other places, and they are say it in a way that they know what they know very well what they are saying. Actually, they are not aware what they are saying very well. So be aware that internet is full of people who appear very confident in what they are saying, and then you realize they are doing mistakes. So just be aware of this. Is just basically the place where we are living. That's how the world is. Be aware of information over internet on forums, right? So all this to say that too much potassium, you will find on internet articles saying that potassium is good for your kidneys. Yes, a certain amount is good. Past that amount, too much potassium is going to have a bad effect, especially if your kidneys are already weak because of body dehydration due to long-term ANS condition, maintenance condition. So all this to say that some foods you need to pay attention very carefully. I'm going to put in a comment section the foods that are bad, the ones that I know. Other foods you'll need to find out by yourself. Yes, try a diet like this for one day or maybe for 2 days. And then when you find a food that you can eat and the hours again without eating and going to bed without eating, then from that moment on, try to add another food to your diet and see if it has an effect for one day. Okay, so let me just rephrase this. Try to eat pasta and dry bread one day and try as much as possible not to eat after, I would say, 4 p.m. and go to bed without sleeping, without eating. Okay, so at least try not to eat several hours before going to bed. This is important. So this helps the digestion to be partially completed when you go to bed. That's the whole idea. So more blood goes back to your nostrils, and you may have your nostrils less dry and also less blocked. Um, once you find, once you have a day when you have an improvement to your nostrils because this diet thing, then the next day keep the same food. Also keep not eating many hours and going to bed without eating. And then that day add another food to this diet. So keep the same diet, the same food, let's say pasta and dry bread and salad, and then add one single food to your diet for that day, whatever food you want, and see how you react to this food for that day and for the following night. Just see if the food could be anything. The food that you added, let's say add chicken, okay, maybe you eat chicken. Add chicken to the food and see if the the same day and the next night you have a problem. It gets worse. If it gets worse, consider that food it's not a good food for the ENS condition, for the nostril condition. And that's how you experiment. The next day, try another food, and so on and so on. If you find a food and mark it on a list, mark it in a way, do a list saying, today, Wednesday, I did add this food. I did not had any reaction. You may want to try a single food for several days, but usually it will react on the same day and same night, a food that is bad for the nostril condition. And maybe another day remove that food and add a different food, and just um, test a different food. Try it, see if it works for you, a different food. But always keep a base diet, the main food for the day. Make sure it's the food that helps you the best, right? I was suggesting pasta and dry bread, and maybe salad to have help with the digestion. Salad is good. Salad doesn't cause me problem with the nostrils. So that's how you experiment. That's how you try these things by yourself and find a list of foods that helps improving your condition with the nostrils. And on top of this, so this is the food part, right? On top of this, you need not, um, if you have blockage of nostrils when you sleep, you need to train yourself to get used not to eat as many hours as you can before going to bed. In other words, you need to train to get used to go to bed without eating for as many hours as you can before going to bed. This is just as important as the food, the items that you eat themselves, as the food itself, right? So there is two things again. Sorry, I'm a bit tired at this point. The first thing is the type of food, and the second thing is going to bed without sleeping, without eating as many hours as you can. Both parts are equally important. You cannot take one part and leave the other one out. So you cannot take just one of these two parts. If, for instance, you eat foods that um, help your nostril condition, but you eat before a meal, before going to bed, I don't think is going to help you. Just to be clear on this point. And the way you train to go to bed without sleeping for many hours is first, you try to eat the last meal of the day several hours before going to bed. Let's just say I suggested 4 in the afternoon. That's just a suggestion, right? Let's say you go to bed, you go to sleep at 10 in the evening, 10 o'clock. Try not to eat, try to eat the last meal maybe at 7 in the evening, 3 hours before going to sleep. Try to have the last meal 3 hours before going to sleep. I'm just suggesting hours here. Maybe some people will not be able to do it. Maybe so. All this to say that I'm just trying to explain this in a way, but every person is different. Some people will maybe eat 3 hours before going to bed, but when they go to bed, they get very hungry. Yes. So they won't be able not to eat again. So it's really up to you. Just try to train yourself. Maybe start um, eating the last meal 3 hours before going to bed. And then if you get used to this, after 1, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, try to try maybe several weeks later not, to eat your last meal maybe 4 hours before going to bed. Do like this. Do eat your last meal 4 hours before going to bed, maybe for 1 month or 2 months, and then try to eat your last meal 5 hours before going to bed. So this way, just lower that last meal hour before going to bed. Try to get that um, last meal. Try to eat the last meal as early in the afternoon as you can. Personally, right now, I eat about my last meal at about 1 in the afternoon, and I go to bed at about 8 in the afternoon. So I go to sleep without eating for about 7 hours or so. And I don't eat when going to sleep, right? So I get to sleep with no food for about 7 hours or so, but it takes time to get used to this because at first you will feel hunger. So you need to get used. No, I no longer feel hunger at this point, but I did feel hunger for about 1 2 years. So it was difficult. Hunger is not easy. Like I said in another video, you may try to compensate to eat maybe some salad before going to bed if you are too hungry, but don't eat those solid foods. Um, I just want to point out, by the way, that milk and any milk product is about the worst that have that causes the worst condition for the nostrils. Milk is just one of the. So no milk whatsoever, no butter, no cheese, no yogurt, no ice cream, no nothing. Um, at all, right? At any point in the day. So just look in the comment section. I'm going to give you more tips about what food I no longer eat. But the whole idea is that you will need to get used over a long period of time not to eat before going to bed. And you, at some point, like I said, at some point, you will no longer feel hungry. That's a good thing. Just be optimistic. And also, maybe if you are too hungry, try to drink water. Water kind of reduces the hunger feeling. Um, and yes, these are my tips. This is how I what I do now. I started this diet gradually about 5 years ago. Right now, again, I eat only pasta. I eat it's a vegetarian ground meat that I have here in Canada. I cook pasta with this ground meat. I put a small amount of oil, some oregano to give you some taste. Basically, I eat this is my lunch meal at about 1 p.m. Pasta with this kind of vegetarian ground meat. Um, this is my last meal before I go to bed, and also in the morning I usually eat some toasted bread, so bread, almost dried bread if you want. I would eat some fruits with bread because eating just bread is difficult. So this is my breakfast if you want. I don't drink juices, again, no milk, no cheese, and many other things. This is about the meals I have throughout the days, and I'm fine. I'm just fine. I also have insomnia, and when I wake up at night, I eat a little bit, I repeat, a small amount, maybe 100 grams of toasted bread. Again, not soft bread, because oftentimes I go back to sleep in the morning. So I have insomnia for about 3 hours, 4 hours every night. But this diet is what helped me have my nostrils stay a little bit more humid, so no longer dry, and also have my nostrils no longer being too blocked at nighttime. So right now my nostrils when I'm asleep are almost, I say in another video, it's much improved. Just see the other video. So I can breathe through my nostrils at nighttime, but also I need to breathe through my mouth as well. I explained this in another video, how I sit with my mouth open like this. I sleep like this on the side, mouth against the pillow. So this will be the pillow. So at night I keep my mouth open through the entire night this way, and I breathe through my nostrils and through my mouth at the same time. And again, this diet did help keep my nostrils more open at nighttime. It helped me enormously. That made the big difference for me, this diet. Okay, so look in the comment section list for other videos where I talk about very other points about this ALS condition. I give more explanations. Also, I'm on Rumble. That's rumble.com. I have another channel on Rumble when I have the same videos, but just be aware if anything happens to my YouTube account, if it gets deleted or something, I will also be on Rumble. It's RUMBEL, sorry, let's say it again, RUMBLE.com. Rumble, it's a big platform, video platform. Okay, thanks for watching, and ask me questions and look in the comment section. I'm going to give you the foods that I know are bad for this condition. Then there can be other foods, so you need to find them by yourself. Thanks for watching.